Thesis na ako. Ay, sorry.
So Jake, na ako'y question sa imo ba?
Yes, te. Ay.
Ano? Kaya 'di ba, we always experience we always experience man ka ng mga ano ma-interview ta, 'di ba? That's really normal if you're going to find a job or if you are planning to work overseas. So, maupod ni ang kuan kay na ako isa ka estudyante katong manager siya ba tapos kuan siya kanang he's been in the business for 13 years na kadto sa iyahang kuan manager siya sa kanang health industry kumbaga tapos
Health
ang iyahang business is about ang iyahang business is about kanang mga ano sa tawag ni kanang mga hearing aids, mga ingana. So mga equipment and mga tools
Medical
bali nga
equipment, so.
medical equipment siya to help those hearing impaired, mga ingana. Og naay mga problems sa ilahang throat and kuan ears, nose and throat kumbaga. Tapos ang iyang gusto kuanan man good kanang studyuhan ba is how to prepare for an English interview daw kay he's planning to work overseas ana siya. So mao ni karon gusto nako mangayo og kuan nimo thoughts and ideas, the things that you would usually do whenever you are in an English interview ba, or even the preparation that you usually do.
So, for me, personally, like, it's really different whenever you have an interview, like, the local interview and also for like foreign interview, it's far too different from the world or animal. But for me, like, it's actually based on my personal experience. I always do this one whenever I look through social media and see some position that interest me, something like JHL expert, something like that. So it's what we call this. Even though I don't have experience on that particular post, what I do is I do a quick research about the job description, the task, the coverage of the task that I'll be doing or covering for that particular position, and do a quick research. Watch videos on YouTube about the what we call this one. The coverage of the task that I'll be covering on that particular position. Also read through Google, something like that. And then even if I don't have a particular experience on that certain position that I'm trying to apply, uh, what we call this one, I ended up like sounding whenever I'm already on the interview. I ended up sounding like I already have like at least a year or 2 years of experience on that particular position because of those research that I did, even just for an hour or two, something like that. So it's really important to have a quick research, understand the job description, and being able to like really know exactly what was the position that you're applying for, and have at least even a context of the what we call this one, even just a brief context of understanding about the position, or it would also help if you already have a complex understanding about the position that you're applying for. So yeah, that's. But
I
again,
think common nga misconception about applying for an interview is kanang you have to answer the interviewer right on the spot ba, without even preparing for the possible interview questions, no?
that's right.
Oo. So sometimes, ako, even when I was still new in this industry ba, kaning sa call center, before the way ako mag-apply, murag kuan, dili ko ka murag, I don't really do much preparation sa kuan. I don't really give time on, reading the overview of the company.
Yeah.
Kanamay nga na bitaw.
Oh.
Pero lucky lang siguro jud ko kay na ma-hire po ko every time
Because you have the
mag-apply
skills,
ko.
man, you really have the skills and you're really qualified magyudaan na.
Kadong even before wala pa ko experience, Jake. Pero that's one jud nga dapat i-consider ka nang you have to read the overview of the company so that at least if they will be asking you some questions about the company, then
That's right.
you have an idea on how to answer the question.
Oh, especially sa medical, like what you said earlier sa mong friend, it's really important to have a little background checking about the company that you were applying for, and also again like the position that you're trying to apply for. So yeah, tama ka today. It's actually right na misconception ganda ng mga tao
Mm-mm.
na whenever you're being interviewed, like you're really required to answer right away,
Mm-mm.
something like that. So give yourself some time to prepare.
Dali, Riz! Dali, Riz!
So it's really important to be prepared, have a quick research
Mm-mm.
sa again sa position nga mo applyan ug sa company because
Mm.
they would feel that you're really interested if you have like did some research about them,
Mm,
about the
mm.
company. Oh, this one is really interested since
Mm.
he really read some articles and
Pero ikaw, Jake, di ba, the first question that an interviewer will be asking you more or less is kanang, tell me
tell me
something
about yourself.
about yourself.
Oo.
Di ba? Tell me something about yourself. So, how do you usually answer that question?
Yeah, most people would say that they would include their what we call this one, their academic background, something like that,
Mm.
where they live, which is actually um, for me personally, it's
Mm.
inappropriate to share because it's already
Mm.
indicated in your resume.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so
Tama,
the
Jake.
interviewer is actually asking you that question to know something about you that is not indicated in your resume.
Correct.
Yeah, so he's actually waiting for you to say something na about you that is not in your resume.
Mm-mm.
Okay, this guy is really thinking.
Mm-mm.
He's not scripted,
Mm-mm.
something like that. Because if you would answer the interviewer based on your resume, then what's the sense of talking to you if,
Mm-mm.
if all of your answers are in your resume? So basically,
Mm-mm.
I can just read your resume and then I can say if you're qualified or not, something like that.
Mm-mm.
So,
So, you need to say something that's not included in your resume.
So for me, my secret also is I don't what we call this one give out so much information on my resume. I limit my resume so that I can so that the what we call this one so that the interviewer will have a chance to ask me few
Mm-mm.
more questions,
More questions
and so I
during
could
the
also
interview.
express myself or make the interviewer feel like I am really prepared, even though like I actually planned it out that I'll only give you few information about me. But I will prepare so many things to say about myself that I did not indicate it in the resume. So I would sound like really what we call this one prepared and all something like that, and knowledgeable, even though I already practiced it. Something like
And
that.
then I also read something, kaya I was able to read an article about how to answer that question. Tell me something about yourself. So, according to that article, ano daw siya, you have to also, like, in answering, what are the, kumbaga, di ba, you have to include also those things that you are interested in. Like, when you have free time, ayan na, do you love swimming, ayan na,
Your hobbies. Right,
kailangan daw ni mo siya i-incorporate dito in a way that when you answer the question daw, the interviewer will be able to see how you interact or deal with other people. So if let's say your interest is about swimming, or let's say kanang sports, you have interest in soccer or baseball, mga ana. So you have to you have to somehow relate
that sport,
that sport, or
hobby.
maybe include also nga I've joined in nga mga clubs because I'm so interested in this sport. Then I
was able to meet
was
people.
able to meet people. I know how to interact with different kinds of people from different ages ba kumbaga, because that's also one way daw for them to gauge if you will be
a good team player.
a good team player, if you are able to develop daw a good interpersonal relationship with your colleagues in the future. Interested,
that's actually a good
interesting
point.
siya, no?
Yeah. I'll take note of that. That's actually a good point.
Okay. Niyon ko nga, uagaw no, kay murag kung kintahay mo yung ka nga, I love swimming, I love kuan. Pero what does that have to do with our company? So you have to murag include daw your interest in a way nga you tell them how you relate to other people, kanang mga nga na mga join the club, nga na I've joined the club, nga ni organization about my interest, nga na.
Yeah.
And then you have to show them ba nga it's not difficult for other people to also deal with you.
That's right.
And
So they would know ba na okay, this guy really knows how to adapt also, something like that. Okay, because he has experience on what we call this one, joining different clubs. what we call this one, have encountered so many different personalities also. Yeah, it's a good point. I'll take note of that. I'll actually use that probably in my next interview, something like that.
Mm. So ikaw, Jake, kung kintahay manay kay interview, schedule interview ba? And the one who's going to interview you is someone who lives in the US or in Canada, kanang not from the Philippines.
Like foreigner,
Do you
get
think,
total
oo,
foreigner.
do you think it's really important how you communicate in English?
Okay, there's actually 2 points I wanted to point out on that one, or two bullets to point out on that one. First is, if it's what we call this one, like us, the customer
Mm-mm.
service, we are actually working. I'm actually working with foreigners abroad, and
Mm-mm.
part of the job that I'm doing is engaging with the customers
Mm-mm.
of my clients.
Mm-mm.
So basically, it's really important for me to know to have this, what we call this one, good communication skills,
Mm-mm.
because the part of the job that I'll be doing is daily communication with the customers and clients
Mm-mm.
of my clients, something like
Mm-mm.
that.
Okay,
And,
daghan man gud kayo side hustle.
diba? So, nangyata siya, te. But if your job is technical, something like a plumber,
Mm-mm.
something like a carpenter, something like a janitor, or service crew, something like that. So I think it's not really what we call this one, a big deal for you to really have a very very good communication skills, like in English communication skills. At least you have this what we call this one, nice pleasing personality. Also, really, like I said, it's really important for you to be able to have this attitude na you're adaptable,
Mm-mm.
you are teachable, something like that. So I think to answer the question, then is it really important to have a good communication skills whenever you're working abroad? For me, like, so moto, if you're working let's say if you have this particular task na you're required to communicate daily to customers, something like that, deal with businessmen, business owners, something like that, professional engagement. So I think it's really important.
Mm-mm.
But if you are like doing some technical works like welding, bombing, something like that, so I think it's not a big deal of to have a very good
As long as you're
communication
able to
skills.
convey your message,
Yes,
no?
you can speak and understand.
Mm-mm.
I think that's it
Mm-mm.
for me.
Ang importante mong good kay siguro understanding the role that you will be doing,
That's
no?
right.
Kay if you don't know what you're
Mm.
applying for, then of course,
Ate Ann was actually asking niya, working abroad ba daw, does it need for you to be like really good in communication, like English communication skills? Does it really requires to have a very good English
Very good.
communication skills?
As long as you can say very good.
Yeah.
very good.
Di ba ya? 2 points, di ba? Like, kung technical yung trabaho dito, dili kayo siya, na big deal. Pero pag dealing with kaning customers and clients, like most of the time, of course, kami na pang professional engagement.
Pero
sa Friday, lahat yun natin si Teacher Ad.
Oh, okay.
no,
Friday na ba kumuha
Next,
tayo?
next Friday.
Next Friday.
ikaw, teacher, how do you prepare for an English interview?
Oh, tama na yan. How do you prepare for an English interview?
I don't.
I don't.
Because it's actually, kuhan kaning
Is there already
native
very
speaker of
good?
English.
Native lang.
You're already very good at speaking the language, Mangga. That's why I don't
That's why you don't need to
prepare.
Alive ka mo?
No. Pero what do you usually do? Wala yung preparation at all? You just answer whatever is being thrown at you. The questions that they will be asked you, you just answer them.
Out of the pocket.
Kasi meron na ako naisip na tanong nila eh. Alam ko yung sasabihin.
Uy,
Because you've been
pero
through
more or
the
less,
interviews
no, ang interview, if you're going to prepare for an interview ba, you have to also prepare and try to anticipate the questions that they will be asking you. Kay if you don't have any idea about the industry that you are applying for, di ba, wala po kay kuan,
Matubag.
mahitubag.
So, matawag natin na it's really important to know the job description before you do the interview. Kaya para maka-research ka. Kay most likely, ang ilang pangutana dira sa mo, maglibot-libot rin na siya the job description. Okay, do you have an idea about this job? How about this one? How about this one?
Ala, ikaw, teacher. Tell me something about yourself. If that will be asked to you during the interview, how will you answer the question?
Like this. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like my students.
Ah,
I don't know.
I'm tired teacher.
that's a student of kuan.
I'm from the
That's the
academy
student
teacher.
Kinsa pa nang student kang kuan man yata kang
Kaya
team?
nga, oh, hindi si Kuan si
I'm tired.
I'm tired teacher.
Sometimes na gano'n lang.
I came from the academy teacher. I'm retired.
Ito pa yun, no? Gorgeous pa yan. Ganyan, diba? Malike pa siya.
Unlike doon sa isa, naligyan mo tingog. Kasi ito yung student mo tingog katong
I
pinakauna
like to
batong
borrow something.
Ano?
first tong student mo nga nagka-concern jud ko mo, "Di lagi siya nagitubag sa ako."
Ay kadto. Oo na. Ako estudyante nga di jud mo tubag bisag unsaon ako pangutana, bisag ma-open-ended question tabagon nang yapon kag yes or
Yes
no.
or no? What did you do?
Lisod po
What did you do
ng
at the
ESL.
academy?
Lisod po ng ESL teacher no pag kuan kanang mag-adjust sa student nga dili ka mao jud mo istorya.
Do you still have that student eh?
The first purchase I made, I was scammed.
Mm.
So, I supposed to buy a gimbal. I
Mhm.
paid around 800 and I got this. Congrats!
Hala, this is 800?
800.
Oh my goodness.
Ay, ditong paano yan ako? Phone holder na magsusunod ng URL.
That was the first try and then I got the right one.
Okay.
Uy, sige.
Ganda na.
Yun yung-
Uy, thank you sa inyong mga input ha.
Wait,